Hi everyone, welcome to Metanoia channel. This is our first video. My name is Safaneri and I am joined by Gabriele. Hi
Ostuni.
Gabrielle.
Hi, Safa. How are you? How are you? And how is everybody?
Doing really great. I've got my ginger tea. I'm so ready for this. We've been talking a long time about Metanoia and it's happening. It's today. We're launching it, right?
Yes. It's happening today, and we were supposed to go with Metanoia, like with a little bit of a
Yeah,
starter.
Metanoia. It took us such
Exactly.
a long time to come up with the word with the name, but first of all, let's talk a little bit about who we are, why we're creating this channel,
Hmm.
this website as well. I want to say this movement, but yeah, let's
Yes.
stay away from big words for now.
Yes. So we started to talk with each other, me and Safa, a couple of months ago, 3 months ago, I think was it. And we were discussing about the need for change, and the common struggle that most of the people in our generation, the previous and probably the next, are going to have things like problems with saving money, with investing, but also the general concern about the environment, the social issues, war and peace, you could say. So we thought, okay, we are all sort of getting to the same point whereby we feel that the current model doesn't really address many of these issues for the majority of the population. So we thought, why don't we try and explore the different possibilities that there are, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, this resonates so much with me because I feel wherever we are in the world, I mean, we both live in Europe, but there are other people in other parts of the world. And I feel we have so many commonalities is that we've been conditioned to think in a certain way, to behave in a certain way, to think the same way, to consume the same way. And it's a pity because we're losing our diversity, we're losing, our right to choose and to make personal decisions. We've become like robots. I mean, would you agree with me?
Yes.
Especially like with what we've seen over the past years and like it's been very hectic in terms of politics, social movements, and so on. I feel like we are undergoing top people's decisions, and we feel like we don't have the choice, we don't have any options. But we are the people, we are the ones who have
The
the
choices.
most power.
Exactly. And one thing you said, I think, really resonates with me, the fact that we are losing the diversity. I mean, if you look on mainstream media and around the world, there is this perception of, oh, there is so much diversity and so much clashes. But in reality, it's actually the contrary, right? Because I remember when I was younger, not that I'm that old, but I was younger at a point in time, going out in the world and be really fascinated by the Indian culture, by the Chinese culture, by South America, by the Middle East, by Africa, by all these things that looked very different, were very different, are very different. And that was, I would say, the beginning of the globalization, like early 2000. And then slowly this diversity has been lost. Everybody is sort of eating the same things and buying the same products and sort of being streamlined into this kind of consumerism led narrative. And we are losing a lot. We are really losing a lot because, for example, there is this thing in Italy, and I'm sure the same is in France, right? Where when you go out and perhaps you are driving your car or you're going by train somewhere and you go to a small village, you don't look for the chain supermarket or for the chain restaurant or for the chain coffee shop, but you look for the special traditional coffee shop of that city, right? Or restaurant of that city, because it's in that kind of diversity, like the diversity that the local businesses, local people, local cultures can bring that it gives color to life, I would say. What do you think?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I believe it and I feel we are not very conscious about this, that the fact there is another way of living. Just again because we've been conditioned through, like American series. I'm guilty of this myself. I mean, I
Me
used to
too.
watch Beverly Hills when I was a teen, and like movies, Hollywood movies. So we were impacted by this like way of living and doing. And today, as adults, I feel like we're trapped. We're like, yeah, we're like acting the same way as top people want
Yes.
us to do,
Yes,
really.
yes. And it's I think the word is Californication, right? I used to sing that song, while driving around the coast in the south of Italy, but actually it was in the south of Italy, I wasn't in California. It was
Mm.
even better, but you know what I mean. That is the concept, and it has some very deep repercussions, right? Because if everybody uses the same model, there is a thing in nature whereby strength is by diversity. In the region where I am, in the south of Italy, there has been a disease that has affected the olive trees. And since olive trees in my region were all of the same variety, they're all dying because they were all the same. There was very little variety. And also the economic tissue here is suffering because they just did a massive monoculture of olive trees for, thousands of years. And now that they're dying, they're left with nothing. So the same is for us. If everybody is choosing the same products, watching the same series, going to the same places, thinking in the same way, what we are really doing is we are, first of all, handing over a lot of power, too much power to some big corporations. We are destroying local businesses, but also small and medium companies because eventually they get bought and acquired. And, there are lots and lots of mergers, and eventually we don't have the choice. And when you don't have the choice, then you're sort of a prisoner
Mm.
because then you want to get out of the system or try to do something a little bit more interesting, and they make it impossible, I would say, right?
I mean, exactly. You feel like you're tied up because you have three loans and you need to pay them up, and you're only 35 or 40, and you still think like you still have 25 years of work, maybe even more now, is
Mm.
particularly in France. And you're like, what? I can't leave my job. I can't do anything else. I can't go for another lifestyle. I have loans. I have like a house loan, car loan, this loan, that loan. Yeah, you're tied up really. And this actually can cause serious problems, such
Mhm.
as, diseases, burnout. And burnout, it's not a light word, burnout can really be like very heavy and
Mhm.
can impact not only the person who's got the burnout, but also the family member and the surrounding. So yeah, you feel like you have everything. You have, two cars, a house, but you're not happy. Within
Mhm.
yourself, you feel stress, you feel tension, anxiety, and you're not happy. And you're like, why am I doing this? Why am I killing my life for?
Yes, yes, yes. And just to make clear for the viewers, we do not have the solution, right? Nobody has got the solution. So we're not here to sell an idea, sell a product, and sell some sort of things. We have got some ideas. We want you to join these, movement that we're trying to create. I would say I like to call it a movement to explore ideas, experiment, learn by doing, and see what works. Because at the end of the day, the only solution for this situation where we are in, right, where we have to have an energy deficit, right? The problem is that we are consuming a lot of energy, be it, oil, wind, renewable, whatever. Whatever we are doing is using up a stupid amount of energy for less and less marginal return. So it's not sustainable. It's not a system that, can go on. And if we look at history, for example, the ancient Mesopotamian civilization, they collapsed when they had a problem with energy and agriculture, for example. So that is a very important aspect to look at. So we do not have the solutions, but we feel the problems as you feel. We think that there are other ways. We are in touch with a number of people that are experimenting some interesting things, and many of you will also do the same. And we just want to create a platform and a group of people where we can sort of exchange ideas, knowing that there is no corporate end in the, in the background. We're not doing this to, to get sponsor money, to sell products, to do any of those things. We're just doing this as a effort to create something different. What do you
Yeah.
think?
Yeah, I mean, it's important to mention that we are independent. We're not affiliated to any political party, and we don't want to.
Mhm.
We're just Gabriele, myself, and a bunch of others who you will see throughout the video, who feel like there's a need to raise awareness around the way we live and just to raise awareness around, considering how we live and considering maybe a change is particularly if you're feeling stressed, not happy, you feel like there's body ache, these are signs that you're not well. And it's not just because of you, because like the Western way of explaining, you can do it, everything is possible, everything. But sure, but you're limited by the system, by,
Mhm.
political leaders around you, billionaires around you who make decisions for you. And that can cause also a lot of stress in your life. So yeah, we're an independent kind of like a channel. We're looking for people to join the conversation, to suggest things, to really, this is very collaborative, right? We're
Yes.
not just
Yes.
vomiting information to
No,
you.
no,
It's not
no,
really.
no.
We're still trying to figure it out ourselves.
Mhm. Yes, and this first video is really an introduction to the idea. It's more for people who will want to join us at this early stage, I think. And
Well, would you like to introduce yourself, Gabriele, briefly?
yeah, yeah. So my name is Gabriele Ostuni. I'm a 40 years old Italian and naturalized British citizen. You can hear that I'm naturalized because I say British rather than British, right? And I worked as I work as international sales manager for a company. I've got a variety of interests, and I'm now in the south of Italy doing a bunch of interesting things. What about you, Safa?
Yeah. So, my name is Safaneri. I am originally from Morocco. I live in France, and I'm also Italian. So I have the Italian nationality by my grandma,
Hmm.
which can be passed along. And I've lived in the US. That's where I graduated from. I also went to London. I did my master's degree there. And I'm currently managing a tech company. We have an app, a mobile app, that is actually helping freelancers, professionals to monetize their talents and their skills. And this is all about, really helping small enterprises,
Hmm.
auto entrepreneurs, individuals to really earn money.
Hmm. And that's one important thing which we need to focus on is the local level, the small level. So one of the things we want to do is throughout our work, and our life choices, but also by encouraging other people to do so, to rediscover the local level, because obviously this platform is going to be available on the internet, and Safa is in Paris, I'm in the south of Italy, other people will join from US, UK, India, China, wherever. But while we are a global community, the focus must be local. The action must be local most of the time. So it's very good that we make a global community. It's also very good if each one of us really interacts and engages with local association, local businesses, local people, and it's a very simple example, right? In my small hometown in the south of Italy, I've decided that I'm not ever going to buy anything from a chain. So I always go to small independent shops, which does not mean that they need to be more expensive. Actually, very often I go to these small shops and tell them, look, I'm coming here. I'm not going to that big shop because I want to support local businesses. What do you want to do? What can you do to help me? What discount you can give me? And these people, when you explain to them that you're doing that for that reason, they will also help you. You get much better customer support. You get, people who really know their products or their services rather than someone who has been thrown into a supermarket, told him or her, okay, you are responsible for this aisle. And then, they are trying to survive the best they can, right?
Right. I think throughout the videos, we will be giving some tips on how to shop locally, how to live differently. So yeah, I mean, that's going to be one of the topics of our upcoming videos.
Hmm.
So what's next, Gabriele? I think this channel we're going to try to publish once a week,
Yep,
right?
yep, yep.
And we will have some how-to videos. We will also have some, just conversation, Gabriella and I. But also, we will try to invite as many people as possible so that they can bring their insights throughout the world. You may be in Argentina, you may be in Brazil, in India. We're going to try to find people who can give you tips about, acting locally why we're, like Gabriela said, why we're a global movement. So global citizens acting locally. That's
Hmm.
really the message.
Yes, yes, yes. And the other point we really want to emphasize is that this is not Gabriele and Safa show. We want you to join, you want you to come, and eventually, hopefully, we will be able to just fade, disappear in the background, and the bulk of the other people will be able to create their own metanoias, we could say. By the way, why the word metanoia? We've not discussed that. How did we come up with that word?
Yeah, go ahead.
So we were looking for a word, and by using some very advanced technologies, we came up, we did a lot of brainstorming. It took us 3 weeks actually to find a word because we wanted to find something that was special, representative, easy to remember. And Safa suggested the word metanoia, which comes from Greek, and it means to change one's mind, usually as part of inspiration or as part of a transformation. Expand your views in a way that you have a new perspective on the world and on oneself. And I really liked it. I went for it because metanoia in Italian sounds like boredom of media, meta, which would be, boredom of Facebook. So I really like the, sort of anti-system
Mm.
message in that. But I think the real meaning is much deeper and much more important.
Yeah, so that would be nice to ask our viewers, what do you think of the name? So you can just comment below, let us know what do you think of Metanoia as a name for our channel. And
Mhm.
also we have a website, Gabriele.
Yes, exactly. We are working on a website. We've already got a newsletter coming up. You can go on the website, you can subscribe on the newsletter, which is extremely important because YouTube is going to be one of the main channels, but we will be, uh, you know, platform agnostic. We want to be really focusing everybody on our website and then have various channels so that we are not dependent on any specific system, platform, way of thinking, or something that is acceptable or not acceptable on a certain platform. So main action for today, because we want everybody to take action, subscribe to our newsletter. And if you know people that you've had discussions with, you've had conversations with, and you think, okay, these people are really feeling the pressure of the current system. They really want to change things and explore change to bring the power back to local businesses, local communities, to individuals, rather than to these, massive big corporations or state entities, tell them to follow us, above all from our newsletter, because that's going to be our main channel of communication with everybody that will follow us.
Yeah, yeah, and we'll try not to bombard you with information, but just sending you relevant things that we want to share. All right, Gabrielle, I think that was great as an
Yep.
introduction. Thank you
Yep.
so much for watching the video. Thank you for being part of our community already. We can't wait to get to know you better. So feel free to leave us a comment if you'd like. Thank you, Gabriele, for what you're doing. You've been super with this project. I personally enjoyed, collaborating with you, and I
Hmm.
hope it's only the beginning of
Yeah.
this project together.
And thank you very much, Safa, also for your support, your ideas, and for giving the name of the initiative. And very important, actions. We now need to focus on actions. We discussed this with Safa a lot. We decided, let's not try to do something that is perfect. Let's just do something, learn from it. So also you who are looking now, watching this video, just take an action, subscribe to the newsletter, invite people, discuss with people, find new ways. And I'm sure that, there was a very interesting, and we can close on these perhaps calculations that we made, which is if three people talk with other three people who talk with other three people, so 3 to the power of 21, you reach the whole of humankind, right? So the power of people sometimes think, oh, I'm powerless, I've got no choice. But some of the issues we are facing today are down to individual choices. Some will require a group action. You cannot change a system unless you build a consensus. But since I think the majority of people are not happy with the existing system, it shouldn't be too difficult to say, well, guys, we need to, implement some changes so that we don't pollute ourselves to death, and we don't bankrupt ourselves and we don't kill ourselves. So just start by taking some actions. I think that's the key message we want to give on this video. And thank you very much for all your time.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye bye.